Our enemies are, in essence, aggressive and cynical villains. They were convinced that they could easily break our country and our people. The current leaders of the European Union and of certain European states, to put it bluntly, and we are well aware of this, are degenerates, direct descendants and ideological heirs of the fascists. I am confident that the forthcoming elections will reaffirm the stability of the state, the maturity of our political system, and its ability to withstand any external threats, blackmail and aggression. They will be an expression of the collective will of millions of people, their aspiration to ensure Russia's sovereignty and security. The people are the source of power. The constitutional right of citizens to elect their representatives and determine the path of their country's development is inviolable. This is the foundation of the legitimacy and effectiveness of democratic state institutions. Therefore, even in the most difficult circumstances, we will not deviate from the principles of democracy. We are holding, and will continue to hold, elections at various levels throughout the territory of our vast country, from the Far East to Novorossiya and Donbass. Servicemen on the front line are also taking part in these elections. This choice, and the trust of the people who are fighting and working for Russia today, must undoubtedly be valued. The special military operation is continuing. The more difficult the situation on the front line becomes for the enemy, the more brutal and barbaric the attacks carried out by the Kyiv regime become. This reveals the full extent of the neo-Nazi, Bandera-style, Russophobic nature of the force we are fighting against. A great deal now depends on our unity, on the courage of Russian soldiers and officers, and on everyone who is working conscientiously in their own role to contribute to victory. I am confident that our soldiers will not let us down. The whole of Russia stands with them now. Our enemies are, in essence, aggressive and cynical villains. They were convinced that they could easily break our country and our people. To achieve this, as they apparently believed, all they needed to do was pit against Russia a drug addict who worships the remains of Nazi scum, along with his gang of traitors. In this very country, which is now commonly referred to as Country 404, half the population has already disappeared, along with 20% of the territories that had accidentally come under their control. I am certain that Russia will reclaim more and more of these territories. And our valiant army is constantly proving this. The current leaders of the European Union and of certain European states, to put it bluntly, and we are well aware of this, are degenerates, direct descendants and ideological heirs of the fascists. In some cases, they are simply unintelligent people. They arrogantly assumed that Russia would falter and beg them for mercy in the form of lifting sanctions, that we would all stand to attention with our hands outstretched. But we are successfully withstanding the most intense sanctions pressure from the collective West in our country's entire history. We have managed to find new economic partners and build cooperative chains with them in both trade and manufacturing. Yes, it is not all plain sailing, but we have nevertheless succeeded in doing so. These achievements must be consolidated.
Tensions are mounting with Russia, with NATO reportedly rushing to prepare a new defense plan for a possible confrontation. German newspaper Bild claimed NATO has drafted a war plan focused on striking deep inside Russian territory during a conflict. The reported plan includes Kaliningrad, drone zones, Russian airfields, defense plants and key bridges as potential targets. NATO has allegedly labeled the strategy a land warfighting concept, outlining how Allied forces could respond to Russian attacks. The reported strategy also envisages countering Russian fighter jets, missiles and drones through coordinated Allied operations. Russia's Kaliningrad region has emerged as a key area of focus for NATO allies amid growing tensions on Europe's eastern flank. Bild claimed Kaliningrad could become a key target during the first phase of a potential conflict between Russia and the alliance. The plan also reportedly includes establishing an autonomous drone zone along Russia's borders with Belarus to monitor and counter threats. Drones and autonomous systems could reportedly take the lead inside this border zone, creating a new layer of surveillance and defense. The reported next phase could target key Russian airfields, defense plants, and military sites deemed strategically important. Bridges, railway hubs, and supply points inside Russia also allegedly included on NATO's potential target list. Allied nations could reportedly use airborne systems to deploy drones deep inside Russia, extending the reach of their operations. Russia's TASS further claimed NATO is no longer keeping its alleged war plans entirely secret as preparations intensify. The alliance is also reportedly building high-readiness forces along its eastern flank, preparing for possible confrontation. Poland is also emerging as a key hub, with multinational forces training together for the possibility of a wider conflict. Amid tensions teetering on the edge with Russia, Poland is rapidly ramping up its defenses and preparing for a wider threat. Poland is planning precision strike capabilities that could potentially reach targets beyond 1,000 kilometers, expanding its strategic reach. Strike drones, cruise missiles, and ballistic missiles for deep strikes are among the weapons Warsaw is reportedly eyeing for its arsenal. Currently, Poland's land-based systems can strike targets at ranges of only around 300 kilometers, limiting their reach. The revelations were made by a top Polish defense official in an interview with Defense 24, outlining Warsaw's future plans. Russia's deadly retaliation against Ukraine has reportedly pushed Poland toward a major strategic shift in its long-range strike capabilities. Warsaw has already ordered hundreds of US-made JSSMER cruise missiles for its air force, strengthening its deep strike capacity. The JSSMER can reportedly strike targets up to 1,000 kilometers away while carrying a 450-kilogram warhead. Poland's contract for the American cruise missiles reportedly costs a whopping $735 million. Poland also plans to build CGR-080 rockets for its Homar K multiple launch rocket system, according to reports. This 80-kilometer rocket program could help expand Poland's domestic missile industrial base and strengthen local production. Additionally, Warsaw may develop longer-range weapons independently or jointly with allies, further expanding its strategic strike options. Romania's airspace was breached by a drone that entered the country from neighboring Moldova, raising fresh security concerns along NATO's eastern flank. A Spanish F-18 fighter jet detected the drone while conducting a NATO air policing mission over Romania, prompting an immediate military response. The Spanish F-18 shot down the drone at around 5:01 a.m. after receiving authorization to engage the unmanned aircraft inside Romanian airspace. Romania's defense ministry, however, did not officially confirm where the drone had originated from, leaving its exact source unclear. Romanian radars detected the drone about 24 kilometers north of the city of Galati, before tracking its movement through the country's airspace. The drone's wreckage is believed to have fallen in an uninhabited area located between two villages, limiting the risk to civilians on the ground. Romania has now shot down 4 unmanned aerial vehicles since January 2026, underlining the growing drone threat along its border. Romania has also reported repeated drone airspace violations as the war in neighboring Ukraine continues to create security risks for NATO territory. Just a day earlier, drone fragments were found in the Romanian border village of Ploru, raising further questions about recent airspace incidents. Ploru is located very close to the Romanian-Ukrainian border, an area that has seen repeated drone activity during the ongoing war. According to RBC Ukraine, Romania shot down 3 Russian drones over the course of just 3 days, marking a rapid escalation in such incidents. Romania reportedly spent around €1.5 million to destroy those 3 drones, highlighting the growing cost of responding to drone threats along its border.
Upgrade your news experience with the all-new HT app. Download now.